How do you pick that which one, or should you read the first few pages and you're like, okay, this is not my scene, or this is totally my scene?
Sometimes it happens that while reading a script, you say, okay, this is no longer engaging me.
Okay.
Much like a movie,
Right.
that you'll turn it off after a while, you know, or leave the theater, worst case. Which can happen.
Which can
But
happen.
sometimes, you know, if it's a sensible, if it's a director you want to work with, if it's a production, because producers are important too.
Right.
They kind of helm things and make the movie properly. So it's usually a combination of who's making it, and then what it's about, and how it reads. And quite often you have to work on it a little bit, you know. You have to kind of sit and but this one didn't require any kind of work.
No?
It was perfect from the first time that I read it.
So your character is diagnosed with cancer, and then he really wants to live it up. What is his way of living it up?
It's to kind of, there's someone pushing a few drugs at his brother's party, and he takes some lysergic acid diethylamide, which is LSD, which is a mind-altering substance that can send you on a kind of a trip for about 8 to 10 hours that can alter the wiring of your brain so that you perceive things completely differently, and decides to have quite a good time as a result. I think it's a metaphor. I mean, some people live their lives in fear and in shackles, and you know, if they get told it's going to end, they're very disappointed and angry.
That's a really important question for everyone. Just if you're given to ask that question, what will you do if you have just these many days?
Right.
2017 was a year of great learning. What were your big takeaways?
I don't know. I've just kind of, it wasn't a particularly successful year for me. So I just did lots of work and, you know, tried to learn a bit more about my craft and to concentrate more on trying to be a better actor. And I think to a large extent I have achieved that.
So if you're a part of a film and somewhere in the middle, do you as actors, do you all gauge that, okay, this is working and this is not working?
You know, no, not really. I think yes, you get a vibe. But it's hard to tell for me. I've never been able to tell. You get a feeling that, you know, it's fun or it's working or something's correct. I get a slightly dull feeling sometimes, or a slightly exhilarating feeling. This film gave me an exhilarating feeling, but it's usually when you see the first copy, you know, or not even the first copy, when you see a kind of a rough cut that you know whether you're onto something or not.
Right. But when
also, if it's fun to do, is a
Right.
kind of a good indicator, you know.
Right. You know, the paparazzi is pretty much everywhere where you are. But we've never seen you trying to make a point, we have seen you in your famous red shorts, which made headlines. Why, how do you stay
Orange
with that?
shorts.
Orange shorts, sorry.
Yeah. How? What?
How do you manage to just be so cut off and just be like,
I don't think I'm particularly cut off.
okay,
I mean, you know, I'm here talking to you.
Right.
I'm photographed in my orange shorts, so it's not really cut off. Is isolated and not there. What do you mean?
you wouldn't care what you...
Not
you wouldn't
care is something
yeah,
else. No, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to
dress up for them?
I mean, dress up for me. I mean, I would be happy to dress up for them if that's what they want. But I don't know who they is.
Right.
If I'm going to the gym,
Right.
you know, I'll just go in my shorts. And if I'm photographed, I'm photographed. I know I can dress well, and I know I can dress badly. And I don't want to be a model for dressing, or I just want to be an actor, and I want to live my life the kind of way I would like to live it, without. And I really admire people who are extremely well dressed all the time. I admire people who set trends in for that. You know, it's great. But for me, these are not important things. You know, and I want the freedom to not
Be the way you are.
to be the way I am. Hopefully, I don't offend anyone with that attitude.
Of course
or
not.
my shorts.
Not at all. So you're not someone who will board a flight and plan an airport look?
You know, there might be a day when I do. I might just wake up and say, you know I'm going to be photographed and I want to look smart today.
Right.
Or there might be a day where I say, you know, I can't. It's not a great day for me. I'll just wear a hat and some glasses. Right. But the point is, I think we're all being photographed at every stage now. There's a couple
A lot
of these,
more than earlier.
a lot
right?
more than earlier, and they make money, and it's not as intrusive as the West. You know, not yet. They're not poking into the bathroom yet, or you know, following us on. We get enough personal time.
You do get. Okay,
And I think in India it's different. I mean, we just give them a pose ourselves, you know, outside the venue, and then there's no drama. So it seems fairly amicable, the relationship so far.
Right. I remember, just walking up to your house one day, and because there were rumors that you have gotten married and you were not married, and you politely came down and just spoke to the media.
Yeah.
Wasn't that intrusive? Didn't you think that why the hell is someone ringing my bell?
Well, I mean, I think it's a little deluded to not expect media attention in today's time if you're a movie star.
Right.
And they don't bother us all the time, but sometimes, it's their job. And if news spreads that, Kareena Kapoor and Saif Ali Khan have got married, I mean, there's going to be a bit of a fuss about that. So, I mean, it's best to handle it straight and say, hello, would you like some water and a sandwich? But, we're not married, so sorry to tell you.
That's exactly
it's not
what
the sort of
happened.
thing I would hide.
Okay. Saif, you and Kareena pretty much knew that when you all have a child, there'll be a lot of interest. But this level of interest, did you anticipate?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I really thought about. But yeah, I did think, frankly, that he would be of interest. I just, I don't really know how to feel about it. It's hard enough to bring up kids normally without them feeling. I don't know how he's going to react to the attention,
Right. Even your daughter, she's pictured everywhere. She's a star. She has a following of her own even before her first film.
I mean, she's in her 20s and she's doing her first movie and she knows what she's doing and she's an adult.
Right.
This kid has not even started out in life yet, and he's this center of a lot of attention. So it's important for him to be balanced and be a normal person,